So what you vibing on this week, bro?
This week is I got several albums that I've been getting into. One I put out there is T-Pain put out a cover album.
Okay.
Uh it's called On Top of the Covers. And
Of course it's called
it's a cover
that.
album, but he's got some real
Yeah.
he's got some real good hits on there. And like,
Mm,
it's not really that it's not really that great of a selection of songs that
mm,
to cover, but he got a couple ones that are like, oh, that's interesting take, because he gives it
mm,
his own spin
mm.
on there, right? So that's an interesting take. But I will tell you, there is one song that he has on there, which is probably the my favorite version of this song, right? And
Okay.
it's called War Pigs. We talked about a little bit about soldiers being replaced in the future, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
The song War Pigs, and I'll just read the lyrics real quick. It's generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses, evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields, the bodies burning as as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord. Politicians hide themselves away. They only started the war. Why should they go out to fight? They leave that role to the poor. And the lyrics go on a little bit further, but like, this
Mm,
is a message that we hear all too often,
mm.
right? About, old men wage wars that young men have to go fight,
Yep.
actually,
Mm, mm,
so this song is it's clearly like a protest song, and it's usually probably first version you hear about it is like a rock version. This is still more of a rock cover
mm.
that T-Pain does here. Black Sabbath is who most people probably hear the song from, although I
Okay.
don't think they're the originators of it. But that T-Pain song, I supposedly thinking War Pigs. The album is good too. It's a fun little
Mm,
time.
mm,
It's a rather short album, but War Pigs definitely is a good one. If you want to hear a new take on that song, it's a good one to
mm.
check out. The next one is a surprise. I was not checking for this one. I saw it come down my
Okay.
feed a couple of weeks ago, and
Mm,
I didn't give it the time, but then I was exploring some articles and reading up on some other artists, and this one came up again in the discussion. And I was like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I did see that. Let me go back and check it out. That Miley Cyrus album slapped though.
Oh my gosh, Miley
That
Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus album slapped though. Now I know she had you know, some appropriation type issues
Mm-hmm.
that folks was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
that she had, doing back in the
Mm-hmm.
day. She really leaned hip hop into a little bit of cultural appropriation, like Justin
Mm-hmm.
Bieber style. Really lean hip hop, freaking your Justin Timberlakes that then run back to their corner once they've drained, what I mean, whatever they could take out the culture for the time. And so
Mm-hmm.
Miley Cyrus is kind of off that. So this album is really, um, she's really matured in this one. She is what is the name of this joint again? It's called We Could no, it's called Summer Vacation, or so what is it called? It's called Endless Summer Vacation. That Miley
Mm-hmm.
Cyrus app, Endless Summer Vacation. She's really matured in this one. But I want to put something out there for the universe. Hopefully, some way, somehow, this could start a snowball effect. Um, I would love to see it. This is just a fever dream of mine.
Mm.
Yo, really? Why is Taylor Swift the queen of white girl music? Like, I think Miley Cyrus got something to say. Like,
I
I don't
don't
think she's
know.
ever been really considered. Like, Taylor Swift has
I
never
don't
made
know.
anything that's that interesting.
She's major though.
She is major, and
She
like,
is
no, like,
major,
she
bro.
is not that interesting. She's not nuanced. She talks about the same shit every time, and her music does not have depth to it.
Mm,
Does not have levels to it.
mm.
Her vocal freaking skill is just
Regular.
average.
Yeah.
But yet, like, you talking about like the queen of white girl music, and like that is like worshipped for that kind of that pop adult pop bubbly, whatever the hell she does there. Like it's never without question that she's the biggest of that there's to offer on that side.
Yep.
But Miley Cyrus is making way more interesting music. Like her music has been interesting in the past too, but granted, you know, it was like okay because she's really leaning hip hop, you know, but like she's like in this there's like there's a variety of sounds that you're going to get from this. There's some there's maybe a little country vibe in some of it, you know, but that just may be her voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of her accent that comes through in some songs. There's some that are like almost like house music a little bit, you know, and then she does have a couple little a little pop, so some songs are a little bit more pop-esque, but it's like an adult kind of pop.
Okay.
She sounds mature. She sounds mature. The music is well thought out, and she's put it in it's good work. And so I was surprised. I feel like, and I went through that album, and I hit the like button on things, and I go back, you know, how I do, and to see how many,
Nice.
and
Cyrus, bro.
and like, it's like 80%, 80% of it,
Okay.
80% of it is bangers. It's straight bangers. And mind you, I don't really have to skip a track. You know what I mean? It may not be a banger, but like I can, you know, I can listen to it until I get to the next one. One song that I definitely would recommend checking out, and particularly in headphones, is the one I think it's called "We Can Live Like This Forever." That was one I was going to mention earlier. Oh no, it's called "Rose Colored Lenses." It's called "Rose Colored Lenses." It's like a trippy little kind of like the wavy kind of flow to it. Put that bit on loud and put it in your headphones.
Have you ever like just looked into like how well some of these songs have charted on the billboards? Like just out of curiosity.
Nah. If I fucks with it, I fucks with it. You know what I mean? Like some of the artists that I tend to like, I'll recommend sometimes is like, you know, you'll never see them mentioned on any show, or you never see them on the charts or nothing like that. Their stuff is just that good. But like in order to get on some of these charts, there's just a lot of like industry bullshit that they have to do, like especially like for independent artists. It's hard for them to make these because they don't have the power of the system behind them like that. You know what I mean?
Label pushing them and all that.
Label pushing it. Some of these people are industry plants. Like that's what I want to say. Some of these NPCs that are here making music, like they're here today, gone tomorrow kind of shit, but they be charting. But you don't fucking see them. You ain't gonna see them in the vibes because you know sometimes. Maybe once in a while they might have a hit. They might put a good album out that's like it was pushed by the industry, but it's actually good. You know what I mean? So every once in a while you'll get some of that too.
Yeah.
The last one that I would recommend folks check out is I start off by first saying rest in peace to Lance Reddick. Lance man, he was most people know him from his acting, right? I know him from his acting mostly.
Yeah, I know him from The Wire.
You know, from The Wire. I personally really connected him the most with Fringe. It's the sci-fi TV show, used to be back in the day. There's a bunch of seasons of that joint. I mean, they started the whole multiverse fucking thing before MCU ever did it. You know, granted they didn't invent the multiverse thing, but they really did it well there. On the Fringe. He actually had you know, he actually put an album out. This guy is a trained this guy is a thespian. Yeah.
Oh, he's a thespian. He's a thespian.
This dude is a thespian. He let me see. He went to where did he go to school? Bro, this dude now all his like wiki and stuff is full of, you know, because he just died. So, you know, people are talking about things, you know, in his life, his accomplishments and stuff. But he went to Yale. Got a master's in fine arts.
Yeah,
he was a smart guy. You know, I don't know if he studied like theater or something like that specifically, but like that's what
I would imagine he probably did.
That's what you're gonna hear when you listen to his album that he had put out back in 2007. You know what I mean? His vocals are
album.
Yeah, he's got 9 tracks on that thing. You know, his vocals sound like you're listening to musical theater. You know what I mean? Especially the designs of the songs are it's more adult contemporary jazz. Some of the tracks lean sort of bossa nova-esque, but his style of singing is like, this dude is a stage actor. This dude is a stage actor. It's like they hit their notes a little bit differently because they're worried about projecting, you know what I mean, in a stage environment kind of thing. And so they maybe announce certain words differently because it allows for the tonal resonance, whatever the heck they're doing. But you could tell like a theater singer versus like a regular studio artist, right? And so this album is not for everybody, but like it's his voice, man. It's his voice, and we're not gonna get to hear any more from Lance Reddick, anything new. Well, a little bit, because he has been known for other things. So you know, one of the big things that is also a big part of my life was playing Destiny, and he was the voice of Zavala, you know, in Destiny. So we got all these Destiny's been out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that was the voice of Zavala for all these years. Destiny is freaking over what, 5-6 years old, however old Destiny is. As a video game, you know what I mean? So people around the world play Destiny, you know, and recognize his voice for that. But also John Wick. You know what I mean? If you like the John Wick franchise, he's in John Wick, and like we got a new John Wick movie coming out. Right, so we'll get to hear. You know, we have some things that, you know, we can still be reminded of the greatness of this man, and you know, and his accomplishments, and how he's an artist. He's an artist. You know what I mean? From theater to the big screen to even music, putting music out there. So this one is definitely for grown folks. I'm putting it out there. This album is for the grown folks. But shout out to Lance Reddick. You know, rest in power. And we will all remember you fondly. You know, and me and all our fellow guardians will continue to carry on the tradition of the guardians of there. Those who know about that. If you're not into Destiny, don't worry about that. You know what I mean? That's just for the insiders. So
if you know, you know.